Hello, my name is Fasi Ahmed Jabbar. I am student of DHS University and I am currently doing mechanical engineering. My registration number is ME131113. Today we are going to learn LU decomposition of a matrix by Dolittle methods. In order to understand the method, we have to consider an example. I have this example which says that find the roots of the following equations. The equations are 2x minus y minus 2z is equals to minus 1, and minus 4x plus 6y plus 3z is equals to 13, and minus 4x minus 2y plus 8z is equals to minus 6. The first step is we're gonna make this equation into our matrix form. As you can see, we're just gonna put constants of x in our first column, constants of y in the second, and the constants of z in the third column. And we have assigned this matrix as the letter A. So this matrix is our matrix A. Similarly, you can make another vector of variables which are x, y, and z, as you can see here. And on the right side of the equations, we have our constants which are minus 1, 13, and minus 6. We have assigned this matrix as letter B. So this is our matrix B. First we have to consider this thing. Matrix A is basically a multiplication of lower triangle matrix and upper triangle matrix. So it makes an equation as A is equals to LU, in which L is our lower triangle matrix and U is our upper triangle matrix. And when they both multiply, they made matrix A, which is our main matrix. Now we're gonna put the values of these matrices. We have already made matrix A in the following step. In order to make matrix L and matrix U, we have to consider this. First of all, we all know that in a lower triangle matrix, a matrix is formed at the lower side of the matrix, and in an upper triangle matrix, a matrix of elements consisting of non-zero elements formed at the upper side of the matrix. And on the upper side of the lower triangle matrix, we have our elements as 0, and on the lower side of the upper matrix, we have our elements as zeros. The main thing to notice in this matrix is that on the diagonals of the matrix L, we have 1, 1, and 1. This is the special thing about Dolittle method. So whenever you use this method, always consider this thing, that you have to put 1, 1, 1 at the diagonal of the lower matrix. The elements which are like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, they are basically unknowns, and we're gonna find them. How do we gonna find them? We're gonna see later. So the next step is to multiply these two matrices, which I have done here. Now we're gonna find our unknowns, which are these letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. How are we gonna find them? Is to equate these letters into our main method. So first of all, you can see the first element of matrix A is 2, and here the first element of our multiplied lower and upper triangle matrix has an element D. So we will make them equal, which is for first element of matrix A and for first element of the multiplied matrix. So it becomes D is equals to 2. The next thing you can see is that the second element A contains minus 1, and the second element of the multiplied matrix contains E. We're gonna do the same here. So we have our value of E is equals to minus 1. Similarly, F is equals to minus 2. Then we have AD, and in our A matrix we have minus 4, so we have equation as AD is equals to minus 4. As we have already found D, so we will have the value of our element A, which is minus 2. Similarly, we're gonna find all the values of the unknowns. Now we have values of all unknowns, which are A is equals to minus 2, B is equals to minus 2, C is equals to minus 1, D is equals to 2, E is equals to minus 1, F is equals to minus 2, G is equals to 4, H is equals to minus 1, and I is equals to 3. The next step of this method is to make our lower and upper triangle matrix. So we just have to put the values of the unknowns in our main lower and upper triangle matrix. As you can see, instead of ABC, I have my values minus 2, minus 2, and minus 1. And here, instead of D, E, F, G, H, I, we have our values 2, minus 1, minus 2, 4, minus 1, and 3. Now, in order to find our roots, we have to do this first. Matrix A when multiplied by another matrix give us a constant matrix. This is basically the main thing we form in our first step. As you can see here, this matrix is called A, this matrix is called X, and this matrix is called B. So AX is equals to B. Now we know that in the second step of our method, we make an equation as A is equals to LU. So we will replace LU with A, so it becomes LUX is equals to B. Now we have to suppose this thing, that when an upper triangle matrix multiplied by another matrix gives us another unknown matrix. So basically X and Y are our unknown matrices. Now we're gonna replace UX in the above equation, so it becomes LY is equals to B. The next main step is to evaluate this equation. Actually, to evaluate the value of y in this equation. So we know that we have our lower triangle matrix, and we're gonna put y1, y2, y3, or it depends on you, whatever you want to put in this variable, like y0, y1, y2, or y dash, or y double dash, or y triple dash. We just have to evaluate the value of matrix y, which is this one. So, and we have already know that our B matrix is the matrix of constants from our main equation. So now we will simply evaluate the values of y1, y2, 3, as these are the only unknowns here. I'm going to show you how I do it. As you can see, when this row multiplied by this column, which is equals to 1, and when this row multiplied by this column, that will be equal to 13, and the last row multiplied by this column will be equal to -6. As you can see, I have evaluated the values of y1, y2, and y3. Now we'll put this value back into our matrix y. So we have our matrix y values. The next step is to evaluate the other unknown matrix, which is matrix X, and this matrix has a special thing about it, because this matrix contains actually the roots of our equation. so it will be the last step. If we will find this matrix, we have our roots of the equations. So uh, it's also very easy because we already have found our matrix y, so the only matrix remains to be evaluated is matrix x. uh, we have our upper triangle matrix which we have found previously, and now we're gonna evaluate the values of x1, x2, x3 similarly we did in y, matrix y. As you can see, I have x3 as 1, x2 as 3, and x1 as 2. So we have our matrix x, which is 2 3 1. This matrix is actually the roots of the equations. So here we have our answer, which is 2 3 and 1 matrix. I'm gonna revise this method, and you just have to see the main steps that I have done here. So whenever you are doing this method, always remember that first you have to find the matrix form equation, then you have to find matrix L and matrix U. In order to find these matrices, you have to first evaluate the values of the unknown, and always remember that whenever you are doing Dolittle methods, you have to put 1 1 and 1 at the diagonals of the lower triangle matrix. The next step is to evaluate this equation, which is Ly is equals to b. You're gonna have the values of you're gonna have to evaluate the matrix y in this equation. The next step is to, and the last step is to evaluate this equation, and in this equation you have to evaluate the values of matrix x, and that will be your roots of the equation. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.